Hello, listeners. What you're about to listen to is the TSP. Now, you're probably thinking, what does the TSP stand for? Well, I'm about to reveal to you right now. It is the Sexy Podcast. In today's episode, we're going to reveal to you the erotic secrets of how to have a long life of hot voices that will get men and women into your bed in the snap of a fingers. Hello, Slovenia, and hello, our people.
Hello, triple stack listeners.
The sexy podcast.
Is this because last week's episode we spoke for sex for about 10 minutes?
We did. I was thinking about that. When did I think about it? I think the next day I was like, we spoke about sex a lot, yes.
I was saying to Matt, I was like, I sort of spoke about our sex life. Hope that's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. Katie fucking tells everyone about our sex life anyway, so she
What
has
in
no.
social circumstances?
Yeah. First time she met some of my friends, she was like, "Yeah, me and Jordan have sex so much." I was like, "Thanks, honey." I was like, "You're making me look really good here."
It's like it's such a normal thing, but I think a lot of people don't talk about it. And like we said last week, like it is a sign of connectivity, the
Yeah.
passion you have for someone. And it's like it is normal, but so many people are like, oh no, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, I think some people can get a bit like a bit like that bit rated R for me. I think I can happily talk about anything like that. I'm just very comfortable talking about, like we said, I think we said last week, like things don't really embarrass me. So when I went with my friend to that event yesterday, we were just talking about like his sex life, my sex life, and he was like laughing a lot. I was like, bro, it's fine, just he's like, you're allowed to be telling me this. I was like, yeah, I don't care.
Kate's fine with it.
Yeah, she don't give a fuck. She don't give a fuck. On that note, based on last week's episode, I've got a load of questions that we didn't answer because they came in after the episode.
Oh, sick. I also last week, we said about we'd like to be able to do gymnastics.
Yes.
Josie, I want to say big Josie, but she's not big
She's
Josie.
not big.
But we call everyone big.
We call her Sick Legs Josie.
She messaged me saying, also, in the last pod, I can teach you and drop how to flick, looking at gymnastics and cheerleading coach right here.
Oh my gosh, is she going to the Arnold?
Should we get her to?
Yep. Josie, please come along. I'd love to. I can do this weird cartwheel flip where I like do a cartwheel, but like instead of my feet coming straight down, I kind of jump off my hands and then land into the cartwheel. So I'd like to be able to do a standing backflip personally, because I think it'd be fucking sick.
I know, it's so cool. I was thinking the other day, me and Matt were filming our reels where we've just been basically having a lols. And
Yeah.
I said to him after, so we did like an hour. And I said to him after, it's so when you're an adult, like you forget how to have fun sometimes.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It's like so cathartic. And I remember once I went to some sort of seminar and they were like, you need to do things where you're like a child for your own
Yeah,
mental sanity.
absolutely. Like I've had people say like I'll be there, but oh, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm like, I'll probably play some like PlayStation in the morning for like 2 hours. They're like, really? Like you're 26? And I was like, yeah, I don't care. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, you just forget.
Why, if I have free time, why would I not fill it with something I enjoy?
Yeah, for sure. Like my analogy is always when you're a child, like the monkey bars, you'd run up to them and you'd be like straight the way across, and you wouldn't care if you fall, if you make a tit of yourself. When you're an adult, especially when we do bodybuilding and everything else, you're like, okay, what's the risk of injury here?
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Lactic Mass Luke for doing the monkey bars on his Instagram story the other day. He didn't quite make it all the way though, because he's carrying some mass right now. So I'd like to see.
Wham.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks real good. I said this last week. The dude has really good genetics. I think he has a good distribution of like muscle in the right places.
Yeah, and what we've got to think is, I say this to Matt all the time, he does tick all the boxes. For his age, like he applies what we would apply, what we've learned from years of bodybuilding, how he's gone into the off season of being more flexible
Yeah,
and, the relationship with food and things like this, that like I really don't think it comes until you have experience of you know, being neurotic,
Yeah.
all the different ends of the spectrum. And I think there's a lot to be said for him being able to do that at this point.
Yeah, me and my friend were talking about, and my friend yesterday who I went to wrestling with isn't into fitness at all. But I was saying like, I again yesterday my plan was to consume adequate amount of calories for my massing phase, but with the event, I didn't know if we could take food in. It turned out we could, which was good, but I didn't end up taking food in because I didn't think we could. So I had like 2 Subways and a protein bar throughout the day and 2 cookies. So I was under my massing calories. I still hit protein. And he was like, "Are you like worried?" And I was like, "No, I don't care." I was like, I'm not gonna get home at 1 in the morning and get a meal in before I'm just gonna go to sleep because why would I eat at 1 in the morning and then have to wait like an hour, then go to bed? It's like I'd rather be under calories yesterday, eat a bit more today to make up for it from a calorie point of view. And I'm completely fine with that. Whereas a few years ago, when I was a bit more neurotic, I probably would have ate the meal and then pushed my bedtime even further into early hours of the morning. But it's just not needed. It's especially for my goals and what I'm chasing from a lifestyle point of view. I just don't need to be, not to say I don't need to be that neurotic because I am still quite neurotic, but I
Mm.
don't need to be, doing that 4 a.m., wake up and get calories in and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, for sure. Like that reminds me when you said about taking food into an event. One rave I went to, I messaged before, I emailed the organizer saying, I'm a bodybuilder and I compete. Is it okay if I bring some protein bars into the event?
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, that's fine. Speak to the head security guard. And luckily enough, the head security guard he was wham. And
Yeah.
I went up to him and I was like, I've got this email thread. They said I can bring some protein bars in. And you could tell he trains. He was like, yeah, yeah, sound. And then every time I went out to have something to eat, she had to go outside. He was like, oh, what you having? And it was like super cool.
It's weird with events because it's something I didn't think you were able to do, but the only thing they didn't let you take in was like bottle caps. So you could take in a bottle of water, but you'd have to remove the lid.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's funny with stuff like that. Like a lot of raves, they give you either a glass, like a plastic glass of water, or they take the cap off, don't they?
Yeah, that's it. Like the woman at the bar was like, "Can you undo the lid for me?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then she like took the lid. She was like, "There you go." And I was like, "We're not allowed the lid." She was like, "No." I was like, "Oh, okay,
It's
cool."
really weird, isn't it? I sometimes think obviously with raves, they're thinking, have you put something in?
Yeah, yeah, that's what we were saying as well. It was but oh, what a day, in the words of Harvey Price.
Yeah, come on, tell me about it.
It was, you know, so wrestling in general takes place in America, so the crowds are very used to having wrestling, so they're sometimes like really unappreciative and perhaps not loud. And then when you watch something, especially that hasn't, like, imagine watching Big Bang Theory, and you don't get the laugh of the stage audience. You
Oh
know,
God,
that there's just silence instead.
it would
So
not.
no. So it's the same with wrestling. If something's happening in the ring and you're watching it on TV and no one's reacting, you're just kind of a bit like dull about it yourself.
Yeah,
Whereas because the UK doesn't get, especially WWE, or only once a year, it was 60,000, well, 64,000 people literally singing someone's theme song when they came to the ring. And it was absolutely mental. And I've been watching it back today because I wanted to hear how loud the crowd was, and it was deafening when you watch it on TV. But it adds to it. And I lost my voice completely. And when I arrived, I had a message from TSP listener Tilly C. Colombo,
hello,
who
Tilly.
is a wrestling fan herself.
No way.
Yeah, so she went to WrestleMania a few years ago, and she was there last night. She was like opposite, in the other side of the ring to where I was. So yeah, mad. Because she lives in Cardiff apparently, so it was on her doorstep.
Oh, sick. I love Tilly. Like she messaged me because of my arm, and she's just so nice.
Yeah,
Such
she's
a
coming to
nice
the Arnold, so we're gonna organise going to watch some wrestling next year. We've decided.
It'd be so cool to meet her. It's like you become, like we say before, you become really close friends with people on Instagram. Like I've probably got like 20 people that I speak to nearly every single day, and I've never met them.
Yeah. I think that's the power of social media, isn't it? It's like
Mm.
you don't need to be near someone physically to have a bit of a connection with them. Similar to our friendship, though, we were friends through social media from last year, and we didn't meet till November time. So It's very easily done.
Yeah, and you're by far like it's ridiculous. You're my best friend, and it's like I I've never had a friend like you, and you know what I mean. You've known people for
Stop
10
trying to
years.
make me cry.
Well, it's just like like we said, we get this feeling when we need to message each other. Like it's like a
Yeah.
I need to message job.
Yeah, I remember I think I can't remember when it was, maybe a month ago, I messaged you. I was like, hey mate, just wanted to message you because I just had the feeling that you needed a message or something. And you were like, that's so weird. I was about to message you.
Yeah, it's like, or
I
sometimes
think
I'll be typing.
yeah, I think it's when you realize you go like, oh, okay, I've not spoken to that person in 2-3 days. Or you check your WhatsApp because especially us being coaches, Matt being a coach as well, you get your WhatsApp filled up. Like I've got messages on WhatsApp. I probably need to reply to you today because I keep forgetting.
Yeah,
And then you go, oh shit, I haven't spoken to that person in like 2 days. I probably should just check in and see how they're doing.
yeah. Like 2 days for us is like I literally
Yeah,
feel
it's
like
weird. Yeah, that's when it like hits the point where you're like, oh, I best send them a message, just see how they are.
hello.
Absolutely mad. But again, it's a very cool thing. It's like again that power of social media,
Mm.
which I really enjoy, really enjoy.
And that's why I always try and because on Beyond Condition podcast, like we talk a lot about the external pressures of social media and how when you compete, you're always looking at other people's physiques and things like this. And I always try and hit home that for me, I don't follow anyone that gives me those bad vibes. But for me, social media is only positive. Like I don't have anything negative to say about it,
Yeah,
apart from when
yeah,
I get men reply to my back shots saying very strange things. But other than
yeah. It can be a weird place, and I have Twitter, and I sometimes go a bit off on Twitter if I see something bad. So when it was the whole uprise about female rights and women's rights and abortions and things, and I'm very much in support of that. And there was like a lot of Christian people online, basically chatting shit, and I really go off on that and go in on those people because I think it's wrong. I don't mind people having an opinion, but I think when you're using that opinion to blatantly try and upset people, I think that's where the line, like if that's your opinion, great, but don't try and belittle and make someone feel shit because that's your opinion.
yeah, I find it hard to hold back with, like I've been in social scenarios with an example would be when I was with a load of bikini girls and one of them was trying to be detrimental to the other by saying, oh, I don't eat carbohydrates. And the other one was eating carbohydrates. And
Yeah.
like I was with Sophie at the time and I just ended up saying, yeah, but you've won a show, haven't you? So you've hit the pinnacle of what you want
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
season and there's nothing wrong with carbs.
Have your opinion, but and even if you want to state like this is what I believe, but also don't then I don't know, just don't try and offend people with your opinion.
Yeah.
I have opinion on lots of things, but I'm never gonna go like, oh, you're an asshole for doing that.
Yeah. And
Won't.
especially around food and things, in the sport we're in the people we mix around, when people make comments about, you're actually eating something and then they make a comment about it. Actually, I don't think sometimes people realize how detrimental that can be.
Yeah,
Like for me, years ago, that would sit in my
yeah,
mind. That could be for years, every time I go to eat that certain food, oh, so and so said I shouldn't have that. And it's like, why should someone else tell you not to have certain foods?
yeah. It's that like classic thing like of like, oh, you're gonna eat all that, or have you got enough food there? And it's like
Yeah.
you don't realize how that may affect someone, so you have got to be careful.
Yeah.
And I'd say that people are a lot more, and this is not a negative thing, but people are a lot more sensitive to comments now, especially with social media, because again, you can't read someone's emotions through a message,
Yeah.
so you got to be careful with how things do come across.
Yeah.
Because I could be like, average, looking good there, bud. Happy to see you do more. Someone might read that as, oh, they're saying I'm fucking miles away from where I need to be. So you just got to be more. I guess it's just more thoughtful of the things you say.
Yeah. It's
Which
true.
is, it's to me that's just like how I act anyway. But for some, that might be like I have a client who just speaks her mind. So it's again, everyone's different, aren't they? So
Yeah, I think the main thing for me in those types of scenarios is from being bullied at school, like I feel I've probably got like a bit of a chip on my shoulder that it's like bullying tactics when people are detrimental to people. So for me, it's really hard. But now I then construct it into like I said, well, you've won a show, so I'd eat what you want to eat.
Yeah,
And that's all you need to say. And that has
yeah,
enough impact. Whereas before it would just be like, I wouldn't know how to put that appropriately without it causing a massive problem.
yeah. 100%. Like I have a friend who, when there was the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, so he's black or African American, if that's more appropriate, and I remember at the time he put like something on Twitter about how he'd received a lot of hate, not hate, but banter at school, but you almost don't realize like that could have really upset him if he's getting racist comments. And I
Yeah.
pulled him we went on a walk during lockdown. I pulled him aside and I said, oh man, like, I don't know if I ever did make any comment that was even remotely racist, because I grew up on South Park, which is highly racist. Grew up Family Guy, probably highly racist.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that you've probably adopted some of those banterous, humorous like phrases.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, bro, God, no, you never said anything remotely like that. And I was like, okay. He's like, but like these people did. And I was like, oh, I think it's just being accountable for your actions and admitting like maybe where you have gone wrong. And fucking you admit defeat. If you've said something wrong, apologize for it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so for that. Like, funny you say about South Park. Last night we finished watching we watched 8 Mile.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
oh, I love 8 Mile. And
Yeah,
then
it's good.
we were like, what should we put on while we're eating our goo? And we put on Ali G. And I said to Matt, I was like, fucking hell, when that came out, like the whole film, it's literally like it's so I'm like, how did he not get killed?
Yeah,
Someone that would have hate.
it's like the amount of like sexism as well in like films in say the late 90s, early 2000s, and you just go, God, if that came out today, you
And like
know.
Borat.
Yeah, yeah, you really but again, I think it's good though, because I don't think those people that would be affected by those things, now have a voice and they can speak up.
It's
And
just mental.
it's not the norm like it probably was in the 1950s, be like, oh, you're a woman, you need to stay at home and in the kitchen, which is completely wrong, which is good because we've passed all that now. So
Yeah. I always remember a conversation we had. I think it was probably right when we first met, when you were like, I really don't like the whole feminism thing. Like, we're equal.
oh yeah. So I'm like yeah, so I guess I am a feminist. Yeah, like 100%. Same with sexuality and everything. Like, everyone's equal. Everyone's a human being. Just because you're this, just because you're that, just because you're Y, just because you're what. Like, you're a human being. You have much equal right to anything as anyone else.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's so nice that's why we hit it off. And when I meet people of the same nature, I'm just like, this person is my people, because we're all equal people. And why not empower each other rather than, it's like this whole thing when we spoke about this on Beyond as well, when people look through Instagram and they're looking for people's failures. And I think, why on earth
Yeah,
are you going to do that?
yeah. You don't. Yeah. I'm like I seek positivity now. If something remotely causes me any negative emotion, I just kind of sack it off.
Yeah. Like, I
I
don't need.
can't be bothered. Life's way too short to be unhappy for even 5 minutes. So
Yeah, and this is why our pod's so cool, because I think there's so many people that message and they're like, I just laugh the whole way through. And I'm like, yes, this is so cool.
yeah, especially that Jop's first rave episode is probably our best episode ever. So
And it's
if you
the most listened to.
is it
Yeah,
no way.
yeah, it is.
What an episode! Jesus Christ,
Well, it's
that
like when
was
we talk about, like class A's and,
yeah,
so many conversations with people that are like, I'd never touch that. And then they're happy to sort of go and get smashed at the weekend on alcohol and essentially poison their body. And
yeah. It's like I've said to them before, like like a bit of weed is better for you than half the cheesecake and bottle of red wine you just drank.
yeah, and it's the thing is with especially class A's for me, it's always just been that point of it's the ultimate like release of feeling free.
Yeah,
From all of the life's pressures. I don't go into a rave and think I'm gonna get absolutely off my tits because I'm a wanker.
No. And do you remember the rave we went to? The one person who had a problem with, I think it was that girl who pushed me. She was like pissed, and
Yeah.
I was like, no one else is acting like
Yeah.
that.
You keep your
Yeah,
red wine, love.
yeah, it's like just fuck off.
While I'm showering my stuff with stuff falling from the ceiling.
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah. What a moment. What a moment. I
Well,
look back through those videos occasionally because it does bring out a lot of joy.
do you know
Uh
what Matt talks about it all the time, and he looks back at the videos and he's just like, do you know what? I just love, because you're his like bestest friend. He's like, I just love that feeling of seeing Jop so happy, and
yeah,
he just watches them
that's
back
nice.
with
I love it.
that.
The glasses.
Yeah, like it's just that video of you two literally completes my life.
I put it in reverse as well, that rewind app. So there's like a version of him giving them to me, and then because I put it in reverse, there's a version of me giving them to him.
I
And
love
it,
it.
yeah, those videos from that night was iconic. Katie said the same thing actually when she saw the video of me last night on my story. She was like, "I've literally never seen you smile this much. I might cry with happiness."
It's so nice. It's like
Yeah.
that's what I always want to see with like the people we're around, and having those memories, and it's just so cathartic.
Yeah. Me and my buddy said this yesterday. Because we haven't seen each other in about a year, and
Oh,
but we're kind of like wrestling was like our connection from a friendship. So when this came about, I was like, oh, it'd be really good to see him. But like this is that one thing out of our school friendship group. This is the one thing we had in common with each other that no one else did. And he got hammered because I was driving. And so we were having he was having a drunken walk home. I was just fucking sober watching him when we walked back. Yeah, because we parked like 40 minutes away to get well, I wanted to get steps in. So we walked back after from the stadium. I was like, bro, I was had such a good time with you. I was like, yeah, man, it was sick.
I love you, buddy.
Yeah. I was like, now hurry up, go for a piss. But yeah, it was cool because I was like, Tilly, where the fuck is the nearest subway after the show? And she was like, it's literally just around the corner. So she said, if I don't see you tonight, we'll see you at the Arnold. So yeah, got a new wrestling buddy in the form of Tilly C. Colombo.
Oh, I can't
Um,
wait to meet her.
so yeah, and she actually asked a few questions. She asked 4 questions last week.
Yes, Tilly.
Quad. She got the quad in. She said, first of all, would you rather rhyme all the time or sing all the time? I'm going to say rhyme.
I'm gonna go rhyme.
I think singing could get annoying, whereas if you're constantly rhyming every sentence, that could be like,
Yeah, you'd have banter on banter on banter.
yeah, you just get there, hey,
Yeah, and everyone's
every
like,
you know. We're gonna go double rhyme there then, Tilly. She also asked, would you rather look like a potato forever or feel like a potato forever? Now we got to go into the context of this because, if you look like a potato, are we still in human form, or with like a potato-esque skin, or are we a potato shape with human skin and arms and legs? I'm going to say that she means like look like the roundness of a potato. That's what I'm imagining she's thinking here. And
because
then,
I feel like a potato at the height of an off season.
yeah, I think we all do, don't we? Yeah.
Flash flump.
Yeah. That's how I felt, mate, with this infection I had in my gum last week. I literally, because of the inflammation in my body, oh my God, Monday and Tuesday, I was like a water buffalo. I'd gained like 4 pounds from inflammation. And I was like, what the fuck? I haven't changed my nutrition. What the fuck is going on? Got on the antibiotics and literally dropped 4 pounds like overnight from the infection dropping off. So I mean, feel like a potato. Like, are you just quite dry on the inside?
Or are you feeling fat?
Yeah, are you feeling fat like a potato? I'm going to
Because
say I wouldn't want to look like a potato, I don't think. So I'm going
no,
to have to go with the other, and that's feel like a potato forever.
yeah, it would just be obviously feeling like a potato. The only problem is mental health wise, if she means feeling fat, it would probably fuck you after a while.
Yeah. But then if you look like a potato and you always looked in the mirror and saw a potato, would you be like, that would fuck with you, wouldn't it?
Myself.
I'm going to say I'm gonna say feel like a potato, because if other people look at me and they're like, he's ripped, but I feel like a potato, I'll be like, well, everyone's telling me I'm ripped, so I just gotta admit defeat here.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna agree.
Yeah.
Double
So we're
whammy.
gonna double feel like a potato forever. She says 3 wishes. What would you have? Oof,
I
three
love
wishes.
these questions.
Yeah. It's a great question.
Eternal happiness.
Yeah, I've got a story for that again in a minute about internal happiness. Got a visit from the Jehovah's Witnesses yesterday.
Oh.
Got a knock on the door, and I thought it was my buddy because he was like, I'm 1 minute away. So I was like, come in, bro. No one came in. So I was like, ah. So I went downstairs, opened doors, like, bro, come in. And then he was like, hello, sir. How are you doing today? And I was like, I'm very good. And I was like, not letting him in because the dog was by the door. And I was like, I'm just gonna have to like hold the door here. And he
Yeah.
was like, what do you so we just thought we'd come today with a leaflet and get your thoughts. And he's like, do you believe in a lifetime of happiness? And I said, yeah, I guess so if I do the right thing. And he goes, do you believe in eternal life? And I said, well, yeah, I wouldn't like to die when I die. I'd like to live on a bit longer, hopefully. And then he said, that's really good to hear. How have you been the last 2 years with the lockdown? I said, yeah, pretty good, man. I was able to play a lot more PlayStation during lockdown, and that made me pretty happy. He's like, yeah, great, great to hear. And then what was his finishing line? He's like, and he had his family with him, which I think is fucking weird. Like, why would you spend your Saturday fucking walking around
Mm,
handing out leaflets about the man in the sky with a big red book? But here
yeah.
we are. And then he said, I'm just going to leave this with you. I've had a really good conversation with you. I said, thanks, man. I'm off to watch some wrestling today. He goes, oh, I hope you're not doing it. And I said, nah, I'm playing it safe, bro. I'll be sat in the crowd.
Yeah.
And then he was like, have a great day, Jordan. I was like, no, you have a great day. It was the weirdest conversation ever, but I just wanted to get rid of him.
Okay, mate. See you later. My friend's coming
Yeah.
around.
Whereas if my mum would have answered the door, he'd be like, hi, I'm Jehovah. And she would have been like, fuck off.
Yeah.
That's how she always ends those conversations pretty abruptly, but I'm too polite to do so. So
Yeah. It's like I'll entertain him. So would you agree eternal happiness would be one of yours?
oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think, but do you know what though? I was thinking about this the other day. There is no light without dark. So you only get happiness
Mm.
because it's in relation to what you know is sadness, right?
Actually, yes. Matt and I had this conversation yesterday. We would
Yeah.
I don't think we'd be I don't think our relationship would be as good as in how grateful we are for each other if we hadn't been through the shit we've been through to get here.
I think I agree. Yeah. I think for you to appreciate the good, you have to experience the bad.
And I'm grateful
So
for the challenges that I've had, to be honest.
yeah, and I think that almost makes you appreciate it more. Whereas if you have wished for a lifetime of happiness, eternal happiness, then you'll never know in relation to what that is.
Mm,
So 3 wishes would be absolute financial freedom
yeah.
forever, because as whatever people say, money does help. You
Money's
live
life.
a yeah, you can have a lot more freedom when you have a lot more money. For example, the first job I had out of uni, I was earning £900 a month. I'm not going to go into what I earn now. It's a lot more, but I was limited with the amount of things I could do with £900 a month.
Yeah.
I would not buy myself 2 subways like I did yesterday if I was earning £900 a month.
Yeah. And also I find with financial freedom, like if I ever got to a point where I was earning excess money, as it were, like I would do things like buy my mum a fucking Range Rover.
Yeah, this is it. Like I'm very big on Christmas presents. So for me, having enough money to really, really not even go in like to excess, but being able to get people I love a really nice Christmas present is really cool.
Mm.
Whereas if I couldn't afford it, and I was having to say like, hey, I didn't have a lot of money this year, so I got you a 6-pack of Coke or something because that's all I could afford.
Or some bath bombs.
Yeah, like one single bath bomb or something. And if anyone's listening and that is what they do, then I'm not bashing you here. But for
But it's
me, I'd like to be able to give more personally. you
Yes.
know. So I'd say definitely financial freedom. I'd say I've always said this. I'd love to be immortal. And I know the answer. I think I spoke about this with Joe, and Joe said, "Yeah, but you'd watch everyone you love die."
I'm
And
with
yes,
you.
that is true. But yeah, I think knowing that death wasn't an option for me would, I don't know. I think it's something I'd relish in, to live
Yeah.
forever.
On
Um,
that note, I would say health.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you could almost say that you could wish for a lifetime of optimal health, you know,
Yeah.
so that you will eventually die, but which we all will, but you know that that entire time you're going to be pretty damn healthy.
Yeah, I would, because everything I do, I have conversations with multiple people about prep. I don't know how long I will continue doing preps because, like at this point with this injury, and when you look at it, it's not an injury that's come from something as it were, but because I'm in such a severe deficit, the likelihood comes up. And when I spoke to Tom about it, he was like, I get an injury every prep. And it's sort of, I had this light bulb moment. I thought, this is a choice and we're doing this to ourselves, but how good is that for you in the long term? I've done like
Yeah.
8 preps now, and you're going from low body fat up to excess body fat, low body fat. You're never ever at your
Yeah.
body's never at a happy point.
Yeah, and I saw a post from Joe Brightman today, and I think he didn't really cover a lot of it, and I don't know, I don't want to take this out of context, but from what I can see, he's kind of coming away from bodybuilding completely in his caption from what he said, and kind of maybe pursuing like a more CrossFit-esque fitness lifestyle. Um, and I think I've said before that, you've got to really enjoy it. So when people ask me why I don't compete, it's because I don't love bodybuilding like people who compete do. I
Yeah.
love training, I love eating, I love progressing my body as best as possible, but I don't love the idea of stepping on a stage and posing. That doesn't do anything for me, right?
Yeah.
Do I love the idea of maybe doing a photo shoot? Absolutely. So I probably will do one of those. But you know, you've got to almost look at the negatives and the positives. For me, being able to take my body fat to a low position where I look lean, but I'm not dying by 3 p.m. and I'm not drinking 10 coffees a day to get through the day.
Yeah.
I don't want to live that lifestyle. That sounds horrific to me because I've been lean before. I've been shredded for a year and it was shit looking back. Like, look at the mental health issues I was probably going through was terrible, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Like I've been through the mental side of it. I've been through that, especially in the first few preps, and I don't struggle with that now. But when I actually, if I'm honest, like I'm always like, no, I got this. But in all honesty, it's hard to even just get out of bed in the morning and then do a whole day, and then you go to bed feeling like shit. And I never ever, as you know, want to slag bodybuilding off because
No, 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 no,
you know
no. Because for
that
you do love it.
yeah. But
Yeah.
at this point, like I am pretty fucked, and it's like, you know, how many times do you want to do that?
Yeah, you got to think year to year, or how many years now of your life do you want to keep spending in this position
Mm,
where you are taking your body to the extremes and ultimately for 8 months, say,
yeah.
giving up your freedom. You could look back next year, or anyone competing could look back next year and be like, you know what? I gave up 8 months staying lean, eating salads for every meal, not enjoying social time with friends or like loved ones and stuff, and go, shit, that's like 8 months of my life and happiness that I've potentially wasted there.
Yeah. And in regards to health, like my menstrual cycle has stopped now, and I haven't had, so it's been about 8 weeks, and and that's going to continue all the way up to the Arnold's, and then if I compete again, and it's those types of things. I didn't have a menstrual cycle for 6 years when I like the first portion of
Yeah.
bodybuilding, and it's
Yeah.
stuff like that it's not good when you look at it properly, but you're always like, no, 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 I've got this. But
Yeah.
actually, there's a reason why you get injuries in a prep, and things go wrong because
Absolutely.
it's a severe deficit, and yeah, it's cool being shredded and whatever, but it's like health wise and life wise, you at this point you are existing.
Yeah, 100%. And I was talking to I don't know who I was talking to this about, but for me being shredded, right? Say I'm stepping on a bodybuilding stage in 3 weeks. My ability to coach like for in a 12-hour day would go down, which
Yeah.
potentially would affect client retention, which
Yeah.
essentially would affect income, which would then affect my mental health because I'm not earning enough money. And it's like the trade-off of me not being super shredded, it's well in favor of me just staying at a normal body fat, being able to run a business appropriately, and living the life I want to live with that.
Yeah, because Tom was saying actually when he preps, he said at this point in prep, I would just be on maintenance coaching clients. I would just
Yeah.
really take the load down. And obviously for me, I'm actually almost starting the business, and it's very manageable at the moment. Like I feel super cool with
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
clients we've got, but
Yeah.
it sort of made me think, I maybe don't need to push getting new clients at the moment as much, although the workload is very manageable at the moment. I still feel I can give 100%. But if I had,
Yeah.
like say 40 clients, it would just be like, I don't feel I can give enough. And I wouldn't
You
want to do
no,
that. Don't want to compromise on that.
no, exactly. That's what you got to look at, isn't it? And I think I've always said, like, for me, it's my nan's and sister's birthday next week. Two people I'm very, very close with. If I had to go to those events and not enjoy a meal with them, I don't think I could do it. I really don't. Well, I could do it if I had to do it. That's a lie, and because I am neurotic like that. But
You want to?
I wouldn't want to look back in 2023 and be like, oh, in 2022, I missed my nan's and sister's birthday because I had to eat that salad at home
Yeah.
watching YouTube because it was a very unstressful environment.
Yeah. Sitting there watching YouTube thinking, I can't go out.
Yeah, exactly. Like for me, it's never going to be worth it. So, and I'm completely fine with that. So, I guess going back to this question, financial freedom, optimal health across a lifetime, and third one, I'd say, I'd probably say the same for my loved ones. I wish that loved ones would also have optimal health and financial freedom collectively too.
Yeah. And also for me, finding love with Matt, like, I just, it's just mental, like how I feel about
Yeah,
him and about our life together. So
yeah,
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 it's exactly the same. Like I'd want him to be with me forever for as long
yeah,
as it
yeah.
is for
You'd
me.
want everyone around you to experience the same health and happiness you are, wouldn't you?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100. So yeah, there you go, Tilly. And then in her fourth question, she says, "Would you rather eat no sweet things again or no meat again?"
Oh fuck off! I can't deal with this.
I think this is like Sarah's worst nightmare.
This is my worst question you could ever think of.
So looking at that,
Fuck.
so no sweet things. So okay, ice cream, cookies, anything
Dude.
like that. But if there's no meat, you could have Greek yogurt, whey protein. That doesn't count as a sweet thing. Whey protein, fish in general, eggs. I could probably live on eggs, egg whites, Greek yogurt, whey protein, any cut of fish. I could give up chicken, I think, if it meant I could still have ice cream and cookies.
Again.
I honestly, I love chicken. I love chicken sausages. I love beef mince. But I could, for someone to say you can never eat a cookie again, whew, whew, that's a
Oh,
tough one for me.
Tilly, I can't answer this question.
Because sweet things would count as like fruit as well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up fruit. I love fruit.
Oh, I'm gonna have to think about it and get back to you on that.
And then we move on to the gymnastic goddess herself, Josie Loy. We're going to say big Josie, but we don't mean that as you are big. We mean that you are big in personality, Josie. Get sunburn or frostbite? Sunburn.
Sunburn.
I've been sunburnt loads of times.
Yeah.
It's
It's just
fine. You
a
just feel a bit
48.
sick. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've been sunburnt before. I can handle being sunburnt.
Yeah, it's literally 48 hours. You put all the fucking after sun on, drink loads of fluids, you're fine. Oh my god, I got a story for you. So it must have been a couple of weeks ago, because I get calf swelling sometimes in prep.
Yeah.
My calves are swelling up. So I put ice packs on both of them and I thought, this is really fucking cold. But I thought, no, it's fine, it's fine. And then took them off. Next day, had a bath, stepped in the bath, and I thought, fucking hell, my calves are burning. It must just be because they're swollen. I looked and I had burn marks across the whole of my calf, the free
Yeah.
back size on both of them. I'd burnt my calves.
Did you not wrap them in a kitchen towel?
I
Oh,
was trying to be hardcore.
oh no, G. I made that mistake the other. Yeah, I always make sure I have like clothing on my body when I put them on. So I had to put because with this massing, my body temperature is fucking high anyway. Like it has been since I was kids. Because so I used to have seizures as a kid because I used to overheat.
Yeah.
So yeah. From like the age of 6 till about 8, I think. My mum kept recognizing that every time I'd get too hot, it would like throw me into a seizure. So I had to get like hospitalized multiple times because of it. Because like my body just couldn't cool down.
Mhm.
Um, so so I got really hot the other day, like astronomically warm, and I was like, fuck, like I'm burning up here. And I had all the inflammation from the infection. So for me, it gets really bad when I get anything like that. Similar to when we were at the Raves, you know, and I was sweat like too hot. Like if I get too hot, it is dangerous for me, essentially. And yeah, so I like put the ice pack. It's actually still there. I need to put it back in the freezer. I put it on my stomach and I just put it on top of my t-shirt and just lay in my bed like, ah, just like rest it on my
Yeah.
stomach or my chest and just cool the fuck down.
Yeah, since being on gear, like it's real. I'm never cold. I've probably had 3 times now in prep where I've had that big drop in weight where I'm like, I'm actually quite cold, but I'm hot all the time.
Yeah. I think some of that is obviously training related as well. I don't know if anabolics will play a factor there.
I'd imagine.
Well, the clen I'm sure will, but
Yeah, I'm on the highest dose of cleanse, so
right there you go. There you
120 micrograms a day will do that to you.
Speaking about hot, because you can certainly have cookies hot or cold. Josie Loy also asked cookies or muffins.
Cookies.
Yeah, it's 100% cookies. Like I like a muffin, but I'm always gonna choose a cookie over a muffin. I need the density and the crunch.
Have you ever tried the blueberry muffins from M&S?
Not M&S, but I do love a blueberry muffin.
Mate, in the M&S ones, they've got blueberry like compote in the middle. You need to eat, honestly.
I'm gonna have
Like,
to try. This is gonna be a massive staple now.
honestly, like they're ridiculous. My mum started me when I was in my last off season. She started buying me one every week. I'd sit there and be like, "Nobody talk to me. I'm having my time with my blueberry muffin."
Yeah, do you know what? That's one thing I hate about Sundays is the fucking shops closing. So on a Sunday night, I'm always like, I'd love to just be able to go to the shop right now and get something to eat.
But
But
no,
like, because of the time, I'm like, I'm gonna have to raid the cupboards for shit tonight, you know. And then Subway, like near me, closes at like 5, and I'm like, that's a shit time to close.
that's dinner time.
Yeah, like and I got Subway vouchers through the door today, and you can get a foot long for £3.99 with these vouchers. You can get
Oh,
a 6-inch for £2.50. You can get 2 footlongs for £8.
fuck off
Yeah, and I was like, man, I'm having Subway every day this week.
all day.
Fucking going in. I'm hyped. They last till October too, so I might play my cards or I might save them. Might look at the calendar and see what's coming up and time it right. You're gonna like this next question. It's from Big Mass Luke.
Big mass
Yeah.
lactic.
I'm just gonna keep changing his name. Lactic mass addict,
Luscious, luscious lactic.
luscious lactic, juicy lactic ass. You're gonna know my answer, but I'm gonna ask the question: who is most likely to be late and why?
Oh god.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Lactic, and it's said with love, right? Said with love, appreciation for my brother. It's gonna be Matt because it'll probably be in the bath. I'll be. Someone will ask me, "Where's Matt? We're leaving soon," and I'll be like, "He's in the bath." And that person would be Sarah asking where Matt is.
I'm actually crying. Oh my god. Or doing a check-in.
Yeah, all do. Do you remember that time when you came down for my birthday?
Yeah.
Context behind the story, and again, this is said with appreciation and love. Me and Sarah were sat downstairs for about an hour. Sarah went for about 5 cups of tea in this time. Um, and she was like, "Do you reckon Matt's coming down soon?" I said, "I really don't know." Katie was like, "What time are you coming over?" I was like, "At this point, I have no idea.
We'll see you in a bit.
We
Oh,
might be
God.
another hour. Who knows?" And then we heard the creak of the stairs, and we were like, "Oh, is he
And then
coming?"
trying to sit there without laughing. We were like,
Yeah. Mass Addict Luke, it is coached by Matt 300. That is the answer to the question. And that is and on like there's no other answer to that question, right?
yeah, that's my answer as well.
I think this may be a question for you, Sarah, because I
Oh,
certainly don't know the tactics behind this. What is Matt's beard protocol? I need some help growing mine. Test.
okay. So he doesn't actually have much of a protocol because so when we went on holiday to Greece and Norway,
Yeah.
we had we had loads of conversations, and I was like, so is there anything you wouldn't do for me? And he was like, no, 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 no. And I was like, do you think you need to have a beard trim? He was like, he just looked at me and he was like, no one's ever touched my beard. And I was like, well, if we're talking about going out of comfort zones and how much you are saying that you feel for me, I think that we need to book a beard trim. And that, so I said to him, you know what, you'll have one and you'll like it, and then you'll want to have it on the reg. And he now has a beard trim on the reg, but
Oh.
he just uses some like beard, like it's like a putty thing.
Oh, almost like hair waxy putty stuff.
Yeah, there's like a beard range. He's got
Hmm.
like 3 different beard products in the bathroom.
I think he'd look really. So if he was ever to go short beard, bear in mind his beard is sexual, right? Without a beard, he'd look very unusual.
It would, imagine how young he'd look without a
Yeah.
beard.
There was who was it? I think Joe shaved his beard the other month, and I messaged him like, "This is very unusual."
You look like you're 10 years old.
I was like, "What am I seeing right now?"
Who are you?
Matt would look very good with this sharp. I'm calling it the Bala beard. Like, look at that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's got a bit of density to it, but it's like it's condensed.
I think you need to send that to him.
Yeah, I think he'd look good with that.
Oh,
I think he'd look
oh
real good with that. I like the hair. Do you know what? I couldn't imagine Matt with hair either.
no, yeah, he shaved his head today, and he always it's like a whole process. He needs about 45 minutes. He has his little bath, shower, then he does his shaving of his head, then he puts his cream on. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'll see you in about an hour then, babe. Um, but the tattoo obviously pops more.
I forgot his head was bloody tattooed then.
It's
Yeah.
what we sometimes forget. He forgets, and oh my,
Yeah.
honestly, mate, the amount of women that are 45 plus. Honestly, we're walking along the street in Chichester, and they go, "Wow, I like your tattoo." I'm like, "Do I need to be fighting 45-year-old plus women here?"
You might have to.
It's like he got one of our neighbours right. I was at the gym, and she came out, and she was like on the phone to her daughter, and she said to her daughter, "Oh, we've got a neighbour, and he's very muscly, and he's got a tattooed head." And she's on loudspeaker, and the daughter was like, "Oh, how old is he? Is he single?" And the daughter's married. And I was like, and the first thing he said was, if I tell Sarah this, then she's gonna fucking kick off. And I was like, I don't even need to kick off here.
She's gonna throw hands.
And now it's so funny. He started calling me his wife when people say, "Have you got a girlfriend?"
Planting the seed. Tactical,
So
that is.
he's like, "No, I've got a wife. She's at the gym.
She's at the gym. She's getting fucking jacked.
She's good in whammo."
Lactic, big mass addict. He also asks another question. He says, best and worst gym accessory, e.g., straps, belt, wraps, etc.
Okay, so I would say it's not necessarily the attachment, it's how the fuckers use them. Some of the things I see in the gym, I think, what the fuck are you doing?
I would agree. If I were to choose one, I think belts look cool. I mean, I've never used a lifting belt because I've always enjoyed just bracing naturally.
Mm.
But if someone has a really cool looking bout, I'm like, oh yeah, it looks cool. It looked really good in that Instagram video you posted of your workout.
Your 1 rep max of a deadlift.
Yeah, there you go. Worst accessory. Oh, I don't know. I really
No,
don't know.
I
Maybe,
definitely think it's more the person rather than the accessory.
yeah. I think there's a. Oh, do you know? I don't know. That's a really good question. I'm trying to think of every accessory and which one I dislike the most.
The exercise I love seeing people do, where I'm like, you are literally doing fuck all, is rotator cuff rehab with a dumbbell.
Oh yeah,
What are you doing?
yeah. It's not doing a lot, is it?
Are you training your biceps?
I mean, yeah, technically they are because they're in an isometric contraction, aren't they, the entire time? So yeah, they're getting a gnarly pump. Worst accessory. Oh, it's such a good question. Does a BCAAs count? Is a gym accessory? Who knows?
Say people and BCAAs.
Yeah, yeah. I do find it funny when people really bash a load of knee wraps on and then they don't go full depth on the squat. I'm like, oh,
They
go on,
put
you
like
need.
160 kilos on.
Yeah, but then I understand that some people do require knee wraps as well.
Yeah.
So, it's a tough one, lactic. I really don't know here. I really, really don't know.
Lactic, I'm going with people.
Yeah,
People
Sarah's
with
going
the
with
worst
people.
attachments.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of if we're going exercises, I don't like it when I see an underhand tricep push down. It just,
Or behind the neck lat pull down.
oh gosh, yeah, oh, horrific,
Are you okay, hun?
horrific. It would probably be, I don't know, lactic. I'm stumped on that one, mate. I'm gonna have to say, phone a friend.
What I'm going to say is tag us on your story with this episode and tell us your worst attachment.
Yeah. We want to know, what attachment do you see in the gym and think, I wouldn't want to sleep with that attachment.
Anyone that tags us in the stories gets bonus points.
Yeah, you do get bonus points. You know what? You get nothing but bonus points.
You get never ending love.
Yeah. We'll sign your boobs, male or female.
I've actually got some questions from Josie.
Oh my god!
Okay, these are funny. So, would you shower for the rest of your life in vinegar, hot sauce, or beef gravy? Not allowed to wash off with water, only towel dry at the end.
I think vinegar could be quite cleansing.
Yeah, apple cider vinegar. We could get some good gains from that.
I think the acidicness may even do some good. Who knows?
Because of course, hot sauce, when you rub that on your genitals, fucking hell.
Yeah, I'd rather smell like vinegar as well than any of the others.
Yeah, and beef gravy, no.
Ugh. No, that would leave a nasty stench.
We're gonna go vinegar. She then
No.
asked, rather walk barefoot on uncooked pasta, Skittles, or Millions, the sweets.
Oh,
Skittles?
I think Millions could be painful, but I think Skittles they would actually crush when you step on them.
And they're a bit bigger, so it wouldn't be so pricky.
Yeah, and pasta I think would just hurt.
Yeah.
Depends what type of pasta, really, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Tagliatelle, I think you'd be fine.
Oh god, imagine the twirly ones.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of when she initially said it.
And
Well,
if you had spaghetti, it would really poke.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Skittles. I've stood in a Skittle before and it just crushed.
Yeah, I'm going Skittles.
Fucking jerked, bro.
And then, would you rather a pillow stuffed with cucumbers, hot dogs, or party cocktail sausages? They must be consumed.
I'm gonna go hot dogs.
I'm gonna go hot dogs.
Because they're gonna be soft and bit of ketchup, bit of mustard, This fucking play ball.
It could be like a nice sort of, you could have them lined up and it could be quite nice because you could put your ear in between two.
Yeah. I'd think the hot dog thing. I might even try it now you said. You know what? I got a pillowcase right there. I'm stuffing it with hot dogs tonight.
Instantly makes notes. Jop's Christmas present, hot dog stuffed pillow.
Remember the moment.
And then the last question, pick one. Go to sleep with somebody who's chewing loudly, clicking a pen continuously, or farting in your face.
Fuck's sake. Do
I,
you know what? I think chewing would create some sort of relaxing white noise that I could possibly fall asleep to.
I wonder if the clicking of the pen would be not too bad, depending on the loud.
No, I don't think that. Oh, I couldn't do the pen. I don't think because it would be that, and that would probably make me jump every time.
My chewing though, like my worst thing, my mum always says, when my granddad used to eat an apple, fuck me, I had to step out the room.
Really?
So I used to say the worst thing that can happen to me is to tie me down, restrain me, and granddad eat an apple in my ear.
Makes note of what to do when going to Sarah and Matt's next.
Yeah, when I'm high. And I don't know if I've got any more questions. Let's have a
Well,
look.
I would check the finality to see if any more have come through. Apart
Oh,
from
I've got one from Big John.
oh my gym fit.
Gym Fit John, he is in. Why is cream of rice so good, and why doesn't Jen Pop eat it?
Yeah. So, number one, I think cream of rice is good in a dieting phase. I think when you get closer to a mass, you do realize it's not the greatest thing in the world. And Gem Pop don't eat it because if you try to tell them it tastes like cake, they won't believe you.
Oh my god, that makes me die. That story.
First time, what was it? First time I stayed at Katie's actually. I made cream of rice and I let her try it. I said it's gonna taste like cake, and she was like, "This is the shittest cake I've ever eaten."
Honestly, though, I do love cream of rice.
Mm.
It's just the time it takes, especially if you're hungry, it really upsets you.
Yeah, I'd rather just do like Greek yogurt and cereal.
Yeah.
Cereal.
Or
Cereal.
oats.
Oh yeah, I don't mind oats. My problem is like pushing. What did you have? 150 gram at the end of your show.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I think anything above 100 though, I'm like, blah, blah. Can't do it. I do like oats and cream of rice combined actually. If you ever tried that, highly recommend. Adds a little bit more density to it, bit more fiber. It's delicious.
Delicious.
Yeah. Are we going in with the top three? Are we, G?
Yeah. So actually, the top three I was going to ask was, I remembered it from, I had to try and remember from my slightly compromised cognitive function last week.
Yes.
I think it was Kendall that asked, but
Kendall building shapes.
so she asked, we've done it before, but like I said to Matt, your answers will be slightly different. Top three carb sources, and yours was core, but because you're not on the core at the moment, I thought we could revisit it.
Good old fucking dear, mate. Oof, it's gonna be. It's gonna. Do we mean direct carbs? Can there be a bit of fat in there?
Let's go direct.
Direct. Ooh, okay. I was gonna say your baked goods would have counted.
Yeah.
What bread would it? It would be some form. It's gonna be sourdough. It's gonna be sourdough. Definitely sourdough bread. At the moment, I'm big on tortilla wraps.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
I'm enjoying some tortilla wraps at the moment. And the last one would probably be Cocoa Pops.
Nice. You're going to be on Matt's. His thoughts of you are going to go from really high to fucking high.
Oh, is that the massing protocol for him?
He just loves all that shiz.
Oh,
Loves
Cocoa Pops.
Mate, I've been making him homemade sourdough. I made him one with sultanas in the other day. Not gonna lie, the wifey points went up a million.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love fruit in bread. Such
Yeah.
a great comp. I think Tesco do a cranberry and whole nut loaf.
You know what I got today as well? Cranberry sultanas and chopped up hazelnuts to put in the next one.
Bloody hell.
Yes.
Oh, that would be unbelievable, wouldn't it?
Anyone would think I'm grafting on him.
Yeah, you're trying to pull him or something.
Yeah.
Bloody blighter.
I feel like I've got an empty finger here, Matt.
Put some fucking metal on it.
Yes. So mine would be, it would have to be oats. I know there's some fats there, but oats are life.
I still count that as a direct carb source.
Yeah.
Very trace amounts, isn't there?
And since prep and then having a core on my carb up, core is right up there right now. And rice. I love rice.
Oh yeah, rice is a contender. I do love jasmine rice. I just haven't been eating it, even though I've got like loads of microwave packs in the cupboard. I've just been forgetting do you know what? I might do it for my next meal. I need to smash a meal after this. So it might be chicken, sausages, rice, and veggies.
Oh yeah.
Or it might be sausages with toast and jam.
Oh, I was just gonna say, could you put some jam on the rice? But maybe we've just answered that.
Oh, jam goes on rice. Jam goes on fucking anything.
Oh yeah.
I think anything goes with rice. Fucking, if I have chicken and rice, I'll add anything to that shit. Honey, peanut butter, jam.
Yeah. Tom brought me over some Vienna, like it's like jam, but it's almost like it sort of looks like a chutney, but it's a apricot jam type thing that he said, this is your present from me for carbs. So I just
Apricot
need to try that.
jam. Oh, that sounds banging. I've had
Yeah.
an apple and cinnamon jam from Waitrose, and that bangs.
Did it? Because they do the peanut butters with like apple and cinnamon and stuff, don't they?
Yeah, I really like the coconut peanut butter, the coconut meridian peanut butter.
I haven't tried that.
I mean, is it no? I think it's almond butter. Oh, mate, that slaps. That stuff is so good,
Oh.
so good. They only ever do it like 1 month a year though. It's really weird.
The next time you see it, let me know.
I'm popping 10.
Popping off.
Fucking chic.
What an episode, G.
Oh yeah, that banged.
That
I
bang.
mean, people might be listening like, shut the fuck up, Job. That was shit.
That slapped.
That slapped if I do say so myself.
And as always, thank you if you made it this far. And remember, we are sponsored by Gym to the Pin. So if you need to be lifting all the heavy weights, then you can use Triple Stack for 10% off. Boom, boom, boom. And our new signature sign now is
Bye, good love.
bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, our people. We love you.
Love you.
Love you, Job.
Love you, fella.
Bye bye now.